I don't see him.
Wonder if he's having a hard time.
Yeah. He was only connected by phone, Amanda?
Yeah, he was having an update issue. So it was gonna take about 20 minutes. So he was like, I just used his phone.
Okay.
So
There it is. Excellent. Hi, Ivan. Can we do a sound check, please?
Yes, can you hear me?
We can. Thank you.
I
Okay.
hopefully will get my computer up and going, but hopefully this suffices for now.
It does. Glad you're here. We're ready, President Wright.
Okay. I would like to call this meeting to order. Do we have a flag for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. Why can't I find it? There we go.
There we go. Okay. Join with me. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
Of
of the United States of America
and
and
to the republic for which it stands,
and one nation under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I will now say an invocation. We ask thee, Heavenly Father, in thy infinite wisdom to guide the members of this board in such a way that all their thoughts, endeavors, and decisions will be made for the betterment of the entire community. We also beseech thee to protect our country and our people from all conflicts, both foreign and domestic.
Amen.
Okay, now we will go into Mr. Pinckney, rules of procedure. Oh, roll call, excuse me, sorry.
That's
Roll
okay.
call.
Director Sewell,
Here?
Director Martin,
Here.
Director Grasha,
Here.
Vice President Duncan,
Here.
President Wright.
Here,
Thank you. We have quorum.
thank you. Now, Mr. Pinckney, rules of procedure.
Yes, the Board of Directors has adopted rules of procedure for conducting its meetings. And so I'm going to go over a few of those rules. First, all noticed meetings are conducted using Rosenberg's Rules of Order as a procedural guideline. Second, the President of the Board presides at all meetings and decides all points of order and procedure during meetings. The President is responsible for the maintenance of order and decorum at all board meetings. No person should be allowed to speak who has not first been recognized by the President. All questions and remarks should be addressed to the President as a presiding officer. No member of the board should speak more than once upon any one subject until every other member of the board wishing to speak on the subject shall have been given an opportunity to speak. No board member shall interfere with the orderly progress of a board meeting. And in order to ensure the orderly progress of board meetings, the board president regulates the amount of time to be dedicated to a particular agenda item. And those are the points that I wanted to cover from the rules of procedure.
Thank you. Okay, we're now at the public input part of the meeting. Do we have anybody, any member of the public online there who would like to make a comment this part of the meeting?
I have Councilmember Jan Pai on the line and Ashley Metzger. Ladies, do either one of you wish to make public comment?
I just
no,
wish,
thank you.
oops.
Thank you, Ashley. Go ahead, Jan.
I just wanted to say congratulations to those who got elected. That's it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jen. Okay, employee recognition. We have the human resources. We have, as I said on Thursday, Rolando Jimenez, water production operator 2, 17 years. How about that one? And Amanda Lucas. Hi, Amanda. Got 4 years. How time
Hi.
flies.
Yay.
Yes.
Congratulations. Arden, do you have anything to say about either one of them? Or
Both wonderful employees, and Rolando's there always in the area. You know, we just have to be happy that we have that longevity also, like we have with Rolando. Amanda has just been an absolute enjoyment. She is so intelligent and such a good hard worker, and I appreciate that and say thanks to both of them for making MSWD the great district that it is.
There you go. Thank you. Thanks, Amanda and Rolando.
Thank you.
Okay, action items. Now, item number 2, resolution number 2020-21, amending resolution number 2020-06, revisions to Mission Springs Water District personnel rules and regulations. We'll turn it over to the general manager.
I don't have anything additional to add. I think we discussed some of your questions, but there may have been some questions that you have after the weekend. So
Okay.
I'll open the floor
Find
up
out.
for some questions.
Okay, Director Martin, any questions on the, okay. Vice President Duncan?
No,
He's
we
shaking
covered
his head no.
everything. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. I can't see him. Oh, there he is. Oh, now I can see him. Sorry. Okay, Mr. Gracia or Director Gracia?
No questions.
Director Sewell?
Go ahead, Director
No
Sewell.
questions. Thank you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. So I'll entertain a motion to adopt staff's recommendation to adopt resolution 2020-21.
Madam President, if I may.
Pardon?
I'm
Oriana
sorry,
Hofford has a question.
Yes.
Oh, sure, okay.
And I apologize for not having video. Something is not working right and it looks kind of odd. But just to confirm, we are proceeding with a small revision to Rule 33A based on the feedback provided at the study session last Thursday to remove the word unlawful. So now Rule 33A, purpose of policy, is to read, the district is committed to providing a workplace free of harassment.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, yes, that was the one revision. So the motion would be to adopt resolution number 2020-21 with that one revision on Rule 33.A.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell.
Yes.
Director Martin.
Yes.
Director Gracia.
Yes.
Vice President Duncan.
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, item number 3, annual report of capacity fees and related capital expenditures. Mr. Wallem.
Nothing more to report. Again, an annual routine thing that we need to look at and receive. It is just a report, and I guess you'll just be essentially telling me that you have received this report is all I really need on this. Arturo, do we need to actually vote on it? I don't think so.
No.
No?
No, I don't think you need to vote on
We
anything.
just have to accept it. It's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's vote.
That's
Just
fine.
Mr. Pinckney? No vote on that one? I thought we voted on it before. It's in the action items. That's why I was just wondering.
You vote
And number 3.
you vote to receive and file it, just an official acceptance of the document. Otherwise, it's like it didn't.
Yes, this is just something you can just vote to receive and accept it. It's required to be publicly reported once a year. And
That's right.
that's now occurred.
Okay, so like I said, the motion, I will entertain a motion to recommend staff's recommendation to the Board of Directors to accept the annual report of capacity fees and related expenditures as submitted.
So moved.
I'll second it.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell.
Yes.
Director Martin.
Yes.
Director Gracia.
Yes.
Vice President Duncan.
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, election number 4, election of officers for the year of 2021. I will turn this over to our secretary to handle this.
Okay. So I will call for nominations. for the term ending December 2021 for President of the Board of Mission Springs Water District.
Yes, I would like to nominate Nancy Wright to have another term as president of our board. As I've stated many times before, I think 3 terms is too many and 1 is not enough. So I nominate Nancy Wright.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would
President Wright, do
gladly
you
second
accept the
that.
nomination?
I do.
And you were seconding, Randy?
Yes,
Thank you.
Don't need a second,
We
do you?
don't need a second, but I appreciate the support.
it's a motion.
Me too. I
Any
appreciate
other
this.
nominees for president? I will take the silence as none. So that's the close of the nomination period. I'm going to do a roll call vote for Nancy Wright as president of the board. Director Gracia,
Yes.
Vice President Duncan,
Yes,
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
and President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you.
guys.
The vote
Thank you.
passes. President Wright, second term as president of the board. We will continue with vice president, term ending December of 2021. Do I have any nominees?
yes, if I may. I've served this year under Nancy, or last year for this current year. Had a wonderful term. I can't complain anything about it at all. But I've got a lot on my plate going on. Want to focus on my business a little bit. So I would therefore like to nominate Russ Martin as vice president.
Director Martin, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Do I have any more nominations for the title of vice president of the board? I will take the silence as no more nominations. Close of the period. I will do a roll call vote for those in favor of Russ Martin for vice president. Director Gracia,
Yes.
Vice President Duncan,
Yes,
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
and President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. The vote passes. So we've
Okay,
got
thank you.
Nancy Wright as president and Russ Martin as vice president. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Okay, it's kind of weird to vote for yourself, huh, Russ? I saw your
It is.
hesitation.
It is.
It's really weird. Okay.
But I did during the general election, so why not here? So
Well, that's true. Okay, discussion items. Item number 5. We had a lot of detail, I think, on Thursday for the Mission Springs Water District Regional Water Reclamation Facility. Arden, anything new or?
No, I'm, we're working, we're putting together our contacts in Sacramento. Pretty excited about the potential to get this funding, so let's keep our fingers crossed, and everything else seems to be moving quite well. I don't know if I think Steve is is Steve Ledbetter on the line too?
Did he? I didn't see him earlier.
No, he is not today.
No, I think he said he couldn't make it today or something. Anyway.
Oh, okay. Didn't know if he wanted to make any additional comments, and that's all, really.
No, okay. Well, I'll ask Director Martin any questions on item.
He stepped away from the, oh, here he comes.
Okay.
no questions.
Okay. Vice President Duncan looks like he left too. Director Gracia,
Just,
number 5.
yeah, comment, I guess. It seemed like a lot of movement took place on this item over the last few weeks, I guess. And perhaps there'll be more movement coming at us quickly. Will we, this will be on our agenda every month like it has been since I've been on the board. I wondered if as these things do happen, we'll be updated at each meeting and in such a way that we'll know if we're going to have, lots of good news last week. And I'm hoping as soon as you get more good news that we'll hear it just as quickly as possible after you hear it, I guess, is what I'm saying. So if you could, that'd be great.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.
We'll talk to you every month about it, probably from now until we start getting the project started and done.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Sewell.
Yeah, the one question I had was looking at the conveyance line, and that third bullet point has the no response was received. Was that regarding City of Desert Hot Springs, or who are we waiting for on the response?
Boy, you've got me there. Danny, do you know what he's referring
Property
to? What?
Okay.
Property owners.
Okay. Are we still working with the city to try and get that easement straight down Little Morongo?
We're working both angles right now. The city hasn't really turned up any positive direction for us, so we're still working with the CDCC as well. We may end up doing the sewer with the city and the water directly with CVCC. So,
okay. Thank you.
I had one more comment, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Oh.
Go right ahead.
I was appointed by the County Board of Supervisors several years ago to serve on the Municipal Advisory Council for the unincorporated area of our district. And part of that area were a few members that were from that area that is potentially going to benefit from the bond or the grant that was talked about. I spoke to I was able to find two of those three other members, and they seem to think that this would be something that would be received well by the residents in that neighborhood. And so I'm enthusiastic about what you guys have got going on and looking forward to it coming at us as fast as possible. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Vice President Duncan, do you have any comments on number 5?
No.
Questions? Okay, I think I got everybody there. Speak up if you want. No? Okay. So we'll move on to the consent agenda, which are item number 6, approval of the minutes of November 12th and November 16th, 2020, registrar of demands. The 2021, item number 8, the 2021 Board of Directors meeting schedule, which remember, did anybody have any objections to the Wednesday, November 10th, 2021, instead of Thursday, November 11th, 2021 for our study session in November? Anybody have any problems with that?
No.
Okay, well, I'm hearing none. So instead of asking everybody, I'm hearing none. So that will leave that one. And then number 9, make the connection financial assistance programs. 2 more septic tanks abated and 2 more hooked to the sewer. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda. Oh, wait a minute, excuse me.
President Wright, I believe Director Grasha had a question.
Okay, yes, you're right. I forgot to ask. That's what I was just saying. Wait a minute. Would anybody like to pull one of these items for discussion? Or
I just had a question.
Okay, Director Grasha, which item number?
Item 9, make the connection. The 2 addresses. Tell us what this is and how people are able to access this program. How hard is it for people to find out about this? I don't know what. Looks like people are applying for and receiving a grant.
They're told about it through the assessment district process.
No, this is a loan program. Arturo, did you want to answer that, or do you want me to?
I can answer any questions. Would you like me to talk about it?
Sure. Just tell them, I mean, I can answer it, but I think I'll let you answer it. And then
engineering pretty much goes through this information with customers when they're going through the process of the construction of the sewers. So all customers are aware of this. When we give them the letter of prepayment, alerting them that there is help for them and that they're not going to be required to pay it up front themselves, and that the district has a loan for them. The board has generously made this available in a standing manner now, as opposed to coming back and voting every time there's an assessment district passed. Most customers take advantage of it. It is a 5% interest on their account, and we charge it on their water account every single month over a period of 10 years. It is a fairly easy process because there is plenty of money available in the fund. We have not turned away pretty much any customers. They are required to pay down a 10% before the loan is processed so that we can cover any administrative fees or any issues with the account beforehand. But it is a fairly straight and easy process. As soon as the application is turned in to engineering, it ends up with the board votes on it, and the customers are, connected, and they're paying that fee through their water account.
And this is a new connection. Is that a existing construction and they're now connecting, or is it new construction? Is this part of the abatement of the old tank, or what?
Yes, it's part of the abatement of the old tank.
Okay.
Part of that program.
So this is a previous house that was on a lot previously, and they're now making the connection. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just want to understand it in case it comes up on the street. Thank you.
Yeah.
President Wright, Danny Friend had his hand up. I think he may want to add something.
Okay, Mr. Friend.
Well, I was going to add before Arden gave it to Arturo, but just so you know, it's been several resolutions that have passed specifically for assessment district properties. It started with 8011, moved on to 8012, and we carried it over for future ADs. As Arturo said, there's plenty of money, but the customer goes out and gets 3 bids, the requirement, and they pick the contractor. And as Arturo alluded to, we haven't turned anybody down. If they make any source of income, it's acceptable to the district. So it's been a good.
Don't we approve those contractors or not? Does it make any difference?
No, sir, we do not.
Okay.
You may be talking about on our website, there are some customers that just don't know which direction to start, and we provide a list of contractors that have worked in our district, not approved, not recommendation.
Yeah, okay, that's what I meant, yeah.
They're licensed and bonded and have done that type of work in our district before. So it's just a tool that helps them get started.
Most of the work is on their property anyway.
It is. It's 100% on their property. The other part I wanted to include is that it has a max amount that they can actually be given a loan for. I forget that amount currently. They also have the opportunity to put their connection fee onto that. And as Arturo was saying, it's a 10-year loan that's liened against the property. So they are required to pay that off if they sell the property. We do ask that they are a property owner, so therefore they're not, tenants can't take on they're not passing it on to the tenant. So that's all I have. Thank you, Arturo.
Okay, thank you. So I will entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items number 6, 7, 8. Oh, wait a minute, forgot to ask the other question. Does anybody in the public would like to pull any of the items for comments, or would like to make pull one for discussion, or like to have questions on anyone? Do I have anybody in the public there?
Still just Jan Pye and Ashley Metzger.
Okay.
I have a question on the register of demands.
Okay, number 7.
On the check number 71571, Desert Water Agency rack fees, $416,000. I haven't seen one that high before. How's that number arrived at this month, or any month, I guess is the real question.
Based on what we pump. And then we pay that no matter if they deliver water or not. That's Desert Water Agency and CVWD, and I think there's one other that have a different relationship with the people they serve. And in our case, we pay them based on what we pump.
Mr. Wallen and Mr. Grasha, sorry to interrupt. Their fee did go up from $155 to $165 per 100 cubic square foot of water.
Right.
So that's additionally part of the increase as well.
Right. I'm used to seeing this fee at about $27,000. And so it jumped up a lot more than how's that? how's that showing up at such an, it's an extreme from what I'm used to seeing. That's, I'm trying to figure out how it went from 25 or 30,000 to 416,000. Was there an accounting issue that was fixed?
Well, it's usually about $1 million a year, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is 1 month.
No, it's every 3 months. Sorry to interrupt you. This is a charge for every 3 months. The production report is on a monthly basis, but they do send us an invoice every 3 months.
Oh, they send an invoice, and that's for what we produce from the aquifer, and we collect that in the form of a charge on our bill, each customer's bill. Okay.
Hello?
I would have to, yeah, I would have to go back quarterly to see what that would have been over a period of a year, because I don't remember ever seeing it that much money.
Well, you know what? Maybe we can get you a breakdown or get everybody a breakdown. You know, have it emailed to us or whatever. I mean, for the year.
I'll have Arturo put that together and send all of you what we have paid Desert Water Agency over the last year. That's what you want.
Okay. Well, I don't know, or Matt can tell us at his financial report, when an upcoming financial report a little bit later in the meeting here.
Okay, but I'm thinking that if you want it before that, we can get it to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I still need a motion. I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Okay, who said that?
Director Martin.
Russ? Director
Yes.
Martin?
Yeah,
And
Rusty.
Director Duncan, or Vice President Duncan, okay. Roll call vote, please.
Director Sewell,
Yes.
Director Martin,
Yes.
Director Gracia,
Yes.
Vice President Duncan,
Yes.
President Wright.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passes.
Thank you. Now, item number 10, correspondence. I don't think we have anything else on that. So we'll go into director's reports. And everybody who wants to go first? Director Martin?
Okay, I don't mind.
Okay.
On the 12th of November, Coachella Valley Association of Governments, I sat in for Supervisor Hewitt on the Conservation Committee meeting. Gave an update on the land management efforts, also the multi-species habitat management plan. There was an acquisition of 2 tax default parcels totaling 182 acres for $140,000. Also approved was construction of the Bighorn sheep fence for $50,000. On the 19th, Tribal Water Authority Board meeting. I have nothing to report there. On the 23rd, Cabot's board meeting, nothing to report. There we did some planning for the Cabot's water tasting event, which was on the 30th. And the Cabot's water tasting event fundraiser was very enjoyable. It was an excellent presentation by former Mission Springs Water District board member Jeff Bowman, and he's also a current museum board member. On the 3rd, Riverside County Board of Supervisors, they gave a COVID-19 update, and they made the observation that some hospitals and doctors' offices were only testing those with symptoms, thus skewing the percentages of those tested versus cases confirmed. It was just an observation. They didn't take any action on that. There's also some discussion on campaign contribution limits for county candidates, and the item was continued to the next meeting. On the 5th, Desert Valley Builders Association Legislative Forum, there has been, despite the economic crisis caused by the pandemic, there has been significant residential and commercial development taking place valley-wide. The representative from Palm Springs described it as booming in Palm Springs. On the 17th City Council meeting, new council members will be sworn in on January 4th. And there was a discussion on the cannabis entertainment ordinance amendment allowing hospitality venues, allowing hospitality venues. There was also the announcement that Chuck Maynard would be resigning as city manager, and he will stay on board until, I believe he said mid-June, or until the city is able to find a replacement. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. I think, Ivan, you did yours on Thursday, right? The Economic Summit?
Yes, I went on Thursday.
Yes, okay, okay. Vice President Duncan? You got, I think, did you do it? Desert DWA's board
Desert
meeting?
Water Agency, November 3rd. I can't read my own notes on here. The only thing really, again, that stands out was the state water contractors meeting. And it just reinforces it. You know, I say it every month, but if we ever get to the point where we are our own state water contractor, we definitely need somebody who is ahead of the curve and already knows what's going on and up to speed. They can jump in and take over for us. And that's just, I have some more notes. I can't read my own writing. But that was it for that meeting. That was a pretty quick meeting.
Okay, thank you. I guess I'm the next one. I have the JPIA board meeting, which was held on November 30th. And let's see, I'll start with the 4 votes. There was, the first vote was for the consent agenda item, which was the minutes of the July 27th, 2020 meeting. The second vote was to ratify the 2 new agencies, water districts, that are now new members of JPIA, the Monroeville Water District, and has for liability, and the Grassland Basin Authority. Looks like they're going to take most all the insurances, liability, property, workman's comp, and employee benefits. So we ratified those 2 new members. The third one was a resolution to approve the virtual voting, which they're not really sure if they're going to have in the springtime or even the fall of 2021, an in-person vote, be able to have an in-person conference or anything like that. So we voted on this just so that if they don't, we can have a virtual voting, I guess, for president, vice president, whatnot of Aqua. So we voted on that one, and then improve the investment plan was the 4th vote. That were the only votes that we had. Let me see if I have any highlights, if I can read my writing. There was a couple things that were kind of interesting. The investment policy, they have a very conservative investment policy. There's $96 million in the full portfolio. They have about $75 million in LAIF, which is the local agency investment formation in the state of California. And it's they brought that up from $50 million last year. They had one guy asked about CalTrust and the possible what was going on with CalTrust, because many years ago they did not it did not insure the principal of the money. So he was wondering if that was the same now, because it might be a better rate than LAIF. And they do invest in camp, like I guess we do too. I think JPIA does invest in camp. So what else do we have? Liability insurance rates this year are going to stay flat due to our reserves. We're using our reserves on that one. Property rates, property rates for liability. They, instead of increasing the rates, which we should have, they're going to use reserves for that also. They're saying next year is probably going to be a really tough year for liability because of all the fires. They'll be really hitting them next year in the pocketbook. So workman's comp, we self-administer. So we have a 3-year rate stability in the workman's comp. It's really good. Workman's comp's one of the best deals I think we can get on workman's comp. Property composition, the pool stands alone. It has a standalone pool for that aspect, and so does workman's comp. Has a steady rate decrease for the last 3 years. Our workman's comp policy has. So I could go into more detail and bore the heck out of all you guys, but I think that's probably the main part. So I will call it quits. Okay, we'll move on. They're becoming very interesting meetings too. Oh, and that other insurance company that we started, they're doing very good. I have that in my notes too. The first year we did really good. I think it was 7.3% up in our investment. So that one's doing really good. Okay, so now we're going to do general manager's report.
Oh, thank you, President Wright. And congratulations to you and Russ. Today I have a little different report than I had last Thursday with regard to our COVID. It is fortunate that we implemented our, response plan, split the schedule before Thanksgiving because we were able to handle the news I'm about to give you, and that is we did have 3 employees over the weekend test positive for COVID. Now, they're all okay, and they'll probably be okay, and I'm not sure what level, and I don't want to get into anything more than that because of HIPAA, but we are able to handle the load. We're going to shift some of the B team over. Danny might want to add to a little bit of what I'm saying. And the only other thing I can say is we're going to be able to handle the workload. I would ask for your kindness in keeping your requests to a minimum right now over the Christmas holidays so that we can get the coverage, we can get some of this work done. And we'll be just fine. And I wanted to hold off sending a direction to my staff, which I will send a memo out tonight. But I wanted to see if there was anything you wanted to say or wanted me to say to them. Mainly, I just wanted to be sure you knew this information before I send it out to anybody else. And I think that's all I have for any additional comments on my report.
Okay, thank you. Number 13, financial report.
Madam President and General Manager and everyone else present, there is nothing else to add unless there is any questions. I would gladly answer them.
Okay, Director Martin, question? Vice President Duncan? Director Sewell?
They're all shaking their head no.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Director Grasha?
Just concerned about the 3 employees. Are they people that we would know that would?
This is the fine. Okay, go ahead. We can ask that. No, go ahead. You can ask that in your director's comments, I guess, which are next. So go ahead. We'll go to the next item, director's comments. Now you can. You go for it.
Well, on director's comments, I had a whole nother list of things. Are these employees?
I'm sorry to interrupt, Director Grasha, but we still have district council report before director's comment.
We covered everything on Thursday in closed session, so I have nothing.
Okay, so let's go back to the financial report, Director Grasha. No comments on the financial report, correct? I can't hear you. Correct?
Well, I had asked for a copy of it. It wasn't. I wasn't able to find that. The report that Matt gave a report on on Thursday. I wasn't able to find that in my packet. I asked about it, and I was told that it was in today's packet, but I haven't yet been able to find it. But I trust it's there.
It was posted in the Dropbox on Friday morning. So go back to the Dropbox and look for the 12/21 version of today's packet.
Right.
And
so you added it?
Yes.
It was added to today's packet, yes.
It starts on page 117.
If you have any questions about him, then you can call Arden and he can get the answers for you. Since you didn't see it prior to the meeting.
Yeah, I'll be glad to get you any information you need, Director Grasha.
So that was what was inserted, what Matt reported on Thursday?
That is correct. The financial report was inserted in today's packet, and the letter of support from DVBA regarding item number 3, the annual report of capacity fees, was also added.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Well, we'll move on. We aren't at directors. We aren't at directors' comments. Oh, I guess we are. Mr. Pinckney said he has no report, so we'll go to director's comments, and I'll start with you, Mr. Grasha. Do you have any? What's your director's comments today?
you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So I've been shopping for a new house, and I settled on one in Division 1. I was asked for a copy of the tax bill from last year, and it choked. So they have a how does it that a house at Mission Lakes would have a part of their tax bill? Let me see if I can find it here. I'm looking at it. They're paying nearly $2,000 a year to the Mission Springs Water District. One is for AD 13, it looks like, which is $1,317. And then sewer charges and UUT, I don't know what that is, but it's $646.
Is this, maybe this is something that you can do outside
Well,
of the
I would rather do it here because everybody's, finds this stuff interesting. I hear all the time, our taxes are too high. I'm not even going to talk about, this is in the city limits. So
Well, I know you can give staff the information because I don't think anybody can answer your questions unless they have the information.
Well, it's on the bill. You guys are collecting millions of dollars every year.
They don't know which bill that is, so you're going to have to show them, but not right now.
Okay. All right.
So any other comments?
Well, why would there be two charges, one of over $600 on one bill? What could there possibly be two separate charges for? Not that
Madam President, the UUT is probably a city-imposed utility user tax.
That's not that much.
It says CFD, MSWD, sewer charges, and UUT, $646. So is the city putting our name on one of their taxes? Because it's on the bill that way. They're blaming us for something they're collecting?
I don't know, but why don't you make a copy and send it to Arden so he can look at it? I mean, it sounds interesting, but I don't think anybody can answer your question with just you telling us.
How could you not know? It's $2,000 a month.
That's a high number. You're right. That's high. I don't know what
everybody acts like, oh, I don't know. We're just the water board. But you're collecting this tax under the threat of, taking people's houses if they don't pay. But yeah, you can't answer the question. I don't know what that is. It's
well, in fairness, Mr. Grasha, you didn't know until you were purchasing a house in that district.
That's right.
So you forgive the board.
Well, this raises the question. I've been hearing it from people for, since I decided I would run, and now all of a sudden, I'm looking at a bill, and I got 4 board members and a staff of I don't know how many people, and nobody can tell me what.
No, come on. We don't know what it is. There's I don't believe $2,000 there's been for sewer. Mine is about $600 or $700. I have a property that has the sewer charge on it. There's also a big charge on there for if you're in town, not in Mission Lakes, so that wouldn't be on it. So unless somebody saw it, I don't think they.
Well, I'll email it to everybody, and we'll bring it up again next month.
There you go.
I think it's important that
who knows? Who knows? The county
without other board members attacking other board members for trying to become educated on laws that you passed.
I've had the county plenty of times. I've had to call them to correct my property tax. They had it wrong. Anyway, go ahead, Mr. Pinckney.
Well, I was going to suggest if Member Grasha would forward it to me, I'll work with staff on getting a response.
All right.
Thank you.
Madam President, it appears as if Danny Friend is ready to comment on that.
Okay, Mr. Friend.
If I may quickly.
Friend. Friend of the court.
Familiar with 8013. I just have a question. Is the property in question is not Mission Lakes Country Club? It must be Century Vintage Homes. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, it's right next. It's on Annan Well,
It makes a difference.
Century Vintage
It's a
Home
big
Visit.
difference.
it does, because Mission Springs is not in the city, and this.
I know what that is. Danny, go ahead and tell them.
8013.
Yep. Well, it's the one that we sponsored that. It's an assessment district for water and sewer lines.
But it was, they voted on it. It isn't our charge.
It's not our charge. We're just a sponsor of it.
But our name is on it. And the same thing, the other thing is probably some part of it is for their sewer bill, and the other part is for the utility tax. And that's probably what comprises that entire thing. None of them is just a tax that MSWD gets.
That's
Madam
right.
President, Arturo Ceja has his hand up as well.
Okay, Arturo.
Thank you, Dory. The general manager pretty much answered that question. That is what it is assessment district number 13, and the sewer fees that we're now collecting on the property taxes, plus the city's 7% utility tax that it is a pass-through. We do not keep that funds. We collect it and then send it back to the city.
Yeah, Desert Hot Springs was in bankruptcy at the time, and we were the only entity. It was the very first development in a long, long time in the Desert Hot Springs, because that is in Desert Hot Springs, I believe that one is. But anyway, and so of $2,000, that was their sewer and water lines and all the off-site improvements. Anyway, so okay, so we'll move on. Director Grasha, is that the what you said? You had a bunch of directors' comments, so go for it.
When one of my first meetings when I got elected to the board, I asked about whether, had brought up work that needed to be done on one of the wells, and the possibility of adding a second well or third well to the same piece of real estate just about. I asked about the issue of subsidence. The staff and the president of the board said there was no such thing as subsidence in our district. You'd have to go back and check the record, but something to the effect that we have magic dirt and it doesn't subside. Now, after being here for over a year, we had a well casing, according to my memory, that was reported to have collapsed. A wellhead that needed some special work. We spent hundreds of thousands of that. That is a sign of subsidence. I don't know if you know that, but it is. We've got a project that's coming to us in January, I understand, another $1 million worth of infrastructure improvements. Another sign of subsidence. We typically don't see these issues happen in areas where ground is not subsiding. There was a subsidence report issued by one of the consultants for Coachella Valley Water District last month. And they apparently didn't really examine our area, our district. They seem to be regurgitating old information. I'm not comfortable continuing to pretend that there's no issues of subsidence when we have so much evidence that we may have a problem that needs to be identified. One of the responsibilities of being a groundwater sustainability agency, ma'am, is, I can see your smirk, ma'am, but you've been running this place for 32 years, and a lot of the things you...
I think your questions are good, but I think that staff can get a hand.
Not appropriate for a board meeting to talk about issues of subsidence during director's comments. Please,
No,
Nancy.
fine.
How long are you going to bury this information from the public?
This is bury what information? What in the heck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I think things come out of your.
Anybody heard
anyway,
of I Wrote Consulting? And your general manager says, "Oh no."
Turn him off. Turn him off. Turn him off. Excuse me. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. I don't mind your comments and you talking, but say your piece to get it over with, get it out, and let's move on. We understand what you want and you need. You believe that we have some subsidence up here. I got it. I don't think the geology shows that we do, but it's always a good question. So I think Arden or somebody, we can bring that forward. He's already told you that we were going to do something as far as USGS reporting to the board next year at a workshop. So that that's solved. That problem we're gonna address for you. So, okay, so now I think I'll go forward with Vice President Duncan. Why don't you do your comments first?
I have none. Thank you.
Director Martin?
Yes, I'd like to give kudos to President Wright and Vice President Duncan for their leadership during this last year. Been a very troubling year, and you guys have really done an outstanding job. So on behalf of myself and some members, hopefully most of the members of the board, I congratulate you on a job well done. Thank you.
Thank you, Russ. Yes, you're muted. Oh, are you just saying okay?
Oh, there we go. Now I can say thank you.
Director Sewell?
I can't seem to unmute him. I'm trying. Can you
maybe
try on your end, Director Sewell? I think, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, just wanted to say, wish everyone a happy holidays, our ratepayers and staff, and hope everyone continues to stay safe. And the 3 employees that have COVID, hope they have a quick and speedy recovery. And just thank you all for your hard work this year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'll go back to Director Grasha. You want to finish your comments, your question?
But this is the holidays coming up upon us, and I want to wish my concern certainly to the people that have come down with COVID. Almost everybody recovers nicely, and I will pray for them to do so as well. Wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will keep in mind that the King is on the throne and watching over all of you and myself as well. Thank you. Merry Christmas to everybody.
Thank you. Okay, I say ditto the same thing. Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm kind of laughing to myself when I write the Christmas cards. I came up with "Be safe and sane New Year," and so now we have a slogan that we can say not only for October for Halloween, but we can now say it for New Year's Eve or the New Year. Happy New Year, and have a safe and sane New Year. But anyway, so Merry Christmas to all, and I guess to all a good night. So thank you, everybody, and thank you for just being there for us always. And Director Grasha, have a Merry Christmas. Anyway, so everybody, what else do we have here? Forgot we aren't going into closed session, so without any further ado, I will adjourn this meeting, and we will see you all next year.
Thank you.
Bye.